Hello everybody, it is I, me. What's my user casual taco? I think that's it. Sure, that sounds good. And I am back with another Pains of Painting video. Shockingly, I didn't die. Crazy, I know. Though I absolutely did for a minute there and I was gone for 2 weeks. Oopsie daisy, it happens. But that doesn't matter right now. We're back, and we're back in action. So thus, today, we're just going to record another video. There ain't much to it. Today, what we're going to do is a fish. Just a little fishy. Hey, future taco here. If you want to get straight to the jazz music, it should be on the timestamp on screen now. And if you want to get straight to the actual painting, it should be displayed now. There's just some pedantic nonsense up ahead, so I just wanted to let you know that in advance. Thank you. Though, mind you, I'm going to torture myself, and we're adding a new rule today. Because someone in the last video commented it, that there's not enough pain here. No fill. No fill bucket. Not only that, but an additional rule. No changing the brush size. So, if the brush size changes, yikes, I'm out. I'm bedaddled, boned, over. So, that's something we're going to have to avoid. Aside from that, we're going to just get some music on real quick. Some 2 hours of the best dinnertime jazz music by Epidemic Jazz. They sound like a lovely bunch of people. Just turn that down a little bit. Some very nice jazz. Oh, and an 8th rule, because I realized I forgot to write it down. No references. So, we are dealing with quite the heavy rule set now. We're approaching 10 rules. With that said, we're just going to jump straight into it. We're going to immediately start by trying to really... Oop. This isn't changing the brush if it's an eraser. Oh, I forgot to set a time. Oh my. This is gonna become a running joke that I forget to set the fucking timer. Timers. 10 minutes, please. Thank you. 10 minutes. There we go. And we're just going to immediately get straight to it. So we start with very broad brush strokes. We're just trying to get the painting canvas all blue. And if you're wondering what we're doing that requires this much blue and this very poorly done, we're drawing a fish. Just a little fishy. I wanted something simple today and I wasn't really sure what else to draw. There's a fish on my desk. I have a little aquarium. So we're going to be drawing a little fishy. It's going to be a very generic fishy though. It's not going to be a, you know, it's not going to be something fancy. I'm not drawing like a accurate tuna here, but we're drawing just a nice little generic goldfish we'll go with. Though I know it's not actually going to look like a goldfish. What if I just... Wow, that actually works a lot better. So we're just going to go through here and we're just going to make some very broad strokes. The goal here is just to get as much blue down as possible because this is a very intensive process and the reward is just to have the background be blue because I banned myself from the fill bucket. I wish I had it right now. It'd be a lot easier, but what we do in the pursuit of art, I suppose. And just... And mind you, what's annoying with this brush as well is the fact that if you hold it and go out long enough, it just naturally ends, like a brush stroke. So it means that it's actually hard to just flail it around blindly. You have to do these deliberate strokes. It's very inconvenient and makes it much harder to paint, but that's okay. we just continue here, getting the broadest strokes possible, and just try and get it all nice down and blue. We're gonna have a very directional flow with it too. I want something directional, you know, because I do want to try with this, even if I know it's all for a bit anyway. You know, I do like having an effort put into it. So we just do these broad strokes, and it all goes in kind of a general direction. Let me switch to orange so you can see a general direction from here flowing up into the corner, which I think is quite pretty, but everyone can disagree with that if they wish. Just get the last of the strokes down. Get some very short ones around here. Try to cover up as much as the white as possible while leaving a little bit of it to suggest the very directional nature of this piece. And a few more strokes. I believe that is the background done, and we have 7 minutes. Wow, that went by fast. So next what we wish to do is get the very fish-shaped fish. It starts simply, we just need a very rough body, and then we want something that very easily blends in for the tail. Get a nice M shape there, though that most tails don't actually look like that. One moment. We're just gonna have to paint over it, because erasing it would actually be worse somehow. And we just gently connect that to there. And then lastly, because most fish have them, we add in a little side tail and fin there. And then from there, we're gonna just very lightly layer the inside of the fins. I don't want them to be super orangish. I want the body to be super orangish, so that way it looks like it's, you know, full, but the fins I want to be more translucent, more bluish, to reflect the fact that it is an ocean and fins tend to be a little more translucent. At least if memory serves me right. If not, oopsie daisy. And then just gently fill. And that is the fins done. Now for the body, which is going to be a struggle because I don't have my fill bucket. And I have to try and get it all done within 5.5 minutes. Wow, I should have given myself more time. Too late now, I'm committed to the bit. So we just very hurriedly smatter down paint, get it looking as filled as possible, as solid as possible, though it's not looking much more solid than the fins, unfortunately. That's okay, though. You know, the joy here is, I guess the pain here is the fact that it's not going to be perfect and that it's a deeply flawed piece, but I like that, so it's okay. But just continue to fill very gently, and by gently I mean with a very terrified rapidness, because you know that you only have so much time to finish the piece and your artwork will never be perfect. And just continue until it is nice and full, or at least until you can make a very general distinction between it and the fins, which does require a bit of elbow grease. And once the body and the fins are vaguely distinct, we now have to commence with the eyes, which I'm feeling are just going to be very fishy. And by fishy I mean they're just going to be little white eyes that kind of resemble human eyes. And we're going to give them a little black bit there. And just fill that in nicely. For the mouth, however, we want something a little different. We're going to have it be along the base of the body. It kind of looks like a smiley face. We're just going to give it some very gentle suggestion of teeth. We're not going to make it all super sharp because this isn't supposed to be a evil monstrous fish. This is like a goldfish, right? In line with it being a goldfish, we'll give it some nice broad streaks along the back. And just along the body in general, to kind of mimic scales. And as it gets down, we're going to want to angle it down, right? The further up it is, the higher the angle. The lower it is, the lower the angle, to make it nice and pretty. However, notably, these scales are in the way of the fin, which we're going to forcibly paint over it. And then, to suggest that the fin is actually there and not just a figment of the imagination, gentle white highlights. And by gentle, I mean very brazen and very apparent. We don't really have finer control. From there, gently underline beneath the fish to give it a nice shadow. And just continue along with that. Gently slope up until eventually the general shape of the fish comes to fruition. And we also don't want to go too heavy on it, because if it's too overshadowed it might look a little... I was gonna say it might look a little unrealistic, but it got googly eyes, so there's only so much that can be done. Now we're going to gently go over the outline again, because that eye is kind of bugging me, and we're going to round off the eye gently. Make it look more eye-like and less big, bulgy thing-like. And we're going to do the same around the mouth, just get it inside of the fish for some reason. It makes me happy, and that's important, I guess. I mean, that's why I do all this stuff anyway, it just brings me joy, but who's asking? Anyway, we continue to work on the general shape of the fish, give it some more distinct highlights alongside the darker, more goldish yellows to make it pop more, right? We'll even give some along the fins, make it look a little more distinct as a fishy fish. Though this is based off of no actual fish, because no actual fish looks like this. And continue with these kind of broad highlighting yellows that don't actually make any sense at all. From there, the water should be further defined once we are satisfied with the fish, giving it broad strokes throughout the water, and its directional nature should be emphasized rather than more lively compared to if they were all flat. And then continue just adding in streaks of different blues to really make the water feel more watery and less vaguely just blue, because just blue doesn't look particularly good. There we go. What else could we add? I got that done surprisingly quickly, and it looks tolerable. That's a problem. We're gonna add in garish colors. We're gonna give it a nice red outline. Why? I said so. It's gonna be very rough, very coarse, but it'll be a nice red outline regardless, to contrast with the blue, because red contrasts best with blue, right? No, it doesn't. That's actually orange, which is why I think it actually pops so well. I realize that hasn't made it look worse. Wow, I'm really bad at my job. Holy... Okay, well... Oh. If you can't hear it, the timer has decreed. The painting is complete. A nice big fishy with a nice big tail and body and fins and all sorts of other various things. Not particularly horrible looking. It doesn't look good, but it doesn't look bad. This is becoming a problem. I need to find a way to make this actually harder. If the people have any suggestions to make the painting painful, please do suggest in the comments, because episode 10 is going to be a special one. I'm going to redraw my channel icon, make it something truly unique, and by unique I mean really shitty. Thank you for watching, if you've watched all the way through, and I hope you have an absolutely lovely day today. Remember, this is a fishy. You are not a fishy. Please drink water. Thank you, and good day.